Welcome back to Crypt Finder, everybody. My name is Brian, and as always, I'm here trying to sort through the quirky, the chilling, the unusual gems of made-for-TV horror movies to find some really interesting ones to bring them to your attention. So I'm sorry about all of the noise. Today I have this rogue bulldozer. It's running around here. It's making a muck in the crypt, so I'm sorry about all of that, but yes, so from 1974, we are going to be taking a look at Killdozer. So, yeah, just everybody buckle up. Oh, sorry, hard hats will be required. Directed by Jerry Jameson, Killdozer is very much a product of its time. It is brimming with the sort of charm and campiness that, well, frankly, fans of 1970s horror films, they'll sink their teeth right into that. If you happen to have ever seen the movie The Car from 1977, or even Maximum Overdrive, which was by Stephen King based on his short story Trucks, then you'll have a sense of what I'm talking about. Certainly, all of those mechanized monster, flicks, they owe quite a bit of nod to Killdozer. Now, please don't go into this one asking for any kind of rationale whatsoever. I mean, yeah, it seems to be that this is a Caterpillar D9 bulldozer within this particular film. Why it never runs out of diesel, it's just an alien power. It's running on an evil kind of consciousness. You just got to go with it, all right? Or the fact that this particular type of bulldozer would only be able to go like maybe a little over 7 miles per hour. So if it was coming right at you, you could just step out of the way. But anyway, again, no rationale required. You've got to just fill in all those gaps for yourselves and just go into this one for the sheer enjoyment. In Killdozer, Clint Walker delivers a rugged performance, as usual, as most of his performances tended to do. He plays Lloyd Kelly. He's the toughest nails foreman, right? He's tasked with leading a small construction crew on a remote, desolate island off the coast of Africa. Their mission is pretty clear. They have to set up a base camp for the Warburton Oil Company. And of course, that's a very not so subtle nod to Halliburton Oil Company. Perhaps maybe the script was kind of leaning into the idea of corporate greed intersecting with wild, untamed wilderness and having those two meet in a very unusual way. What begins as a just routine job, even though quite grueling, it soon takes on somewhat of a harrowing turn because while clearing some of the land away, their powerful bulldozer strikes an unusual metallic object that seems to be buried just underneath the earth. It's a meteorite with an otherworldly secret. Unbeknownst to the crew, this ancient dormant rock harbors an alien life form, and upon contact, the extraterrestrial entity merges with the bulldozer, actually transforming this once inanimate machine into a sentient, malevolent force of destruction. As this alien-possessed bulldozer roars to life, it becomes an unstoppable, nearly indestructible juggernaut, hell-bent on annihilating anything in its path. What was once just an essential tool for their survival now turns into their worst nightmare. Kelly and his crew find themselves in a desperate battle of man versus machine, where the odds of survival they get a little slimmer after every moment. So here are a few fun facts about Killdozer. The idea of an alien-possessed bulldozer is certainly unusual. It's blending science fiction with horror in a way it was really quite innovative for the time. The special effects are going to seem extremely dated by today's standards. They're a testament really to the creativity of the filmmakers of the 1970s. So many different made-for-TV movies had to do this exact same thing. They had to use clever camera angles and a little bit of practical effects and then also a little bit of trickery to make some of this come to life. The movie maintains a pretty slow pace, but it does deliver some genuinely chilling moments, particularly as the crew realizes the bulldozer it's out to get them, right? Some crafty shots of the bulldozer's levers shifting, the smoke boiling out of the exhaust, and it certainly comes to life and feels like the evil cousin to the truck from Duel. Clint Walker was best known for a lot of TV appearances, but also the TV series Cheyenne, which he starred in, and he brings a sturdy presence to the movie. He is also supported by a cast that really includes a mix of familiar faces from TV and film, adding to the movie's nostalgic appeal. Be on the lookout for a very young Robert Urich, who happens to be the Killdozer's first victim. Killdozer was actually adapted from the short story by Theodore Sturgeon, which had been published in 1944. He was known for his imaginative and even somewhat unsettling science fiction stories. His original story starts off with a battle between two different warring races on Earth, way before mankind actually exists. But the movie decided to jettison all of that hardcore sci-fi backstory and just focus on the construction crew. Here's a quick fun fact also for you. So, before this movie came out, just about a year before, the original short story by Theodore Sturgeon was actually turned into a comic book called Killdozer. This is from Worlds Unknown #6. It's a pretty fun adaptation, and down here it actually even says, as seen on TV. The film's production faced several challenges, including budget constraints and tight schedules. These limitations impacted the film's special effects and maybe the overall polish, but it also added to its charm and campy appeal. Although the movie is set on a remote island off the coast of Africa, it was actually filmed in the Mojave Desert in California. The desert landscape provided a very convincing stand in for the film's fictional island setting, where basically on an island cut off from the world altogether, it makes it a little bit more frightening that you're in this fight or die situation. Jerry Jameson, the film director, he was known for his work in TV movies and series during the 1970s. He directed several other made-for-TV horror films, including The Deadly Tower and The Last Dinosaur. So if you're in a mood for sort of a retro horror flick with a unique twist, a heaping dose of camp and nostalgia, then yeah, Killdozer is definitely worth a look. It's a classic piece of TV horror history. It reminds you just how imaginative and sometimes delightfully absurd the genre could actually be. If you happen to go searching online for the term Killdozer, you might end up going down the rabbit hole just a little bit because a lot of what you're going to see coming up is actually about a man named Marvin Haymeyer. He outfitted a real bulldozer with steel and concrete and gun ports, and basically he just took out his own personal revenge on a small Colorado town in 2004. The machine ultimately did about $7 million worth of damage and only barely avoided killing people before Haymeyer himself took his own life while trying to destroy a hardware store where the bulldozer kind of got stuck in place. So I could not find how the name Killdozer was actually attached to this event, if it was somehow in reference to Theodore Sturgeon's short story or the film adaptation, or maybe it just might have been a news outlet just tossing out a term like that. But it's certainly unusual, and yes, someone really tried to make their own Killdozer and turn it loose as a weapon for his own grievances against the city government. Interesting. Anyway, please hit the like and subscribe button. I certainly hope you'll come back for more of these jaunts down memory lane and taking a look at some of these really interesting, unique, made-for-TV horror movies from so many years ago. As always, stay curious and stay scared.